What is up? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. It's Friday afternoon. Should we keep going? I think we should. I've spent the day going through old notes on my iPhone. Things that I've written through probably 3 different iPhones, going back about 10 years. It's weird. It's surreal even. Finding things that, random things I put into my phone that going to a party, writing down somebody's name, and I don't know who that person is. I have no context. And then finding old order requests from an ex-girlfriend for what she wanted me to get her at a takeout place. Lots of randos. One thing that I did find that was interesting was a detailed inventory of how many words I could write per day. And then I was trying to plan out the unplannable. I mean, you could plan out how many words you're going to write, but I was trying to figure out how many readers can I attract by using reader magnets. And each book that I published, how many low end conservatively can I expect to build? And it was just like an exercise of futility. Really, you can't control those things. All you can control is your own productivity, or if that word chafes you, your own commitment to just showing up. I think for me, productivity hacks have been a lovely crutch that never really worked. It's like, ugh. And that's something I want to talk about today is how do you set goals in 2026? For whatever you do, whether it's creative or some kind of task you're trying to get done in your personal life, professional life. Do you set hard goals and how do you stick to them? And what do you do? Do you have workarounds or build-ins for when you fall off? How do you climb back on the hobby horse? I'd like to know what you think, because I have been burned many times by myself, by my desire to sort of take the tiger by the tail and do the impossible. And I was just journaling about it and thinking, I think this year is different. I think this year is going to be my golden year. And by that I mean it's a year where I'm going to do something special. And I know that sounds highfalutin, but let me put it in context for you. Years and years and years ago, my parents, they decided to take a sort of a work, I wouldn't call it a promotion, it was called they decided to move to England for 2 years for my dad's job, and they ended up making a lot more money that way because of all the extras that were included in the package. And it was kind of their golden year in the sense that they were able to finally sock stuff away in their 401k. They were not young at all. They were close to retirement, and they really, due to misfortune, bad planning, whatever, did not have a lot saved for retirement. And that experience, that golden year, well, we'll say 2 years, but it made a huge impact in their ability to retire right after that. And I've always thought about that. And I hate the idea that I have to try and play catch up all of a sudden for all the wasted time that I've committed to. But really, I think I want to frame 2026 for myself as the golden year, and I'm going to do something special. And I'm not going to give too much away yet, and I'm wrestling with how realistic the goal is. And I think it's got to be more process and the idea of showing up versus like a page count or word count. But there is a qualitative or quantitative measure baked into what I'm planning to do or I'm thinking about doing. So I'd be curious, do you have any of those wild ideas about your 2026? I know this guy who is just kind of this dynamo. I went to college with him. He is completely blind. He is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. he owns his own business, and he's just a few years ago he posted on social that he was going to commit to something crazy, like, I don't know, like 1,000 push-ups a day or something, and he was going to see how many he could do over the course of the first month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever year it was. He did an insane amount of like push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups, and I kept looking at it going every day. I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to do that, but I never got around to doing it. I dragged my arse. And then when I looked up again, it was like middle of March, and I thought, where did all the time go? So, that said, where will all the time go for you or for me? I'm thinking I'd like to do something special. I'd like to make it a golden year. Are you with me? Are you with me? If you are, throw your hands in the air like you just don't care.